Part B, refraction of light through a prism. Prism. First we'll study what is prism. A prism is a transparent medium bounded by 5 plane surface with a triangular cross section. A prism is a transparent medium bounded by 5 plane surface with a triangular cross section. In that, two opposite surfaces of prism are identical parallel. They are identical parallel. Identical means same triangles, while the other three surfaces are rectangular and inclined to each other. Rectangular and inclined to each other. See in this figure, we'll imagine the prism A, B, C and D, E, F are the two surfaces, and here A, B, E, D is a refracting surface. A, D, F, C is a refracting surface. Both are same. This AD edge is there, no? That is refracting edge. Refracting edge. And BC is a base of this prism. Refraction of light through a glass prism. How the light will refract in this prism. We'll see ABC is a prism. This AB and AC are two refracting surfaces. If you incident a light on a AB surface OP, it will reflect into this prism and again it will emerge out of this prism. So OP is a incident ray, PQ is a refracted ray, QR is a emergent ray. Okay, see this N line is a normal to this AB plane. Just increase this OP means incident ray up to L, and this emergent ray exceed up to M point where it will meet at the incident ray, and this is a normal of this AC plane. Okay, so this is a M point and here is a N point. Angle of deviation is delta 1 and angle of refraction is R1. Angle of deviation delta 2, R2. Refraction, angle of refraction, this is also delta angle of deviation. And here is again the emerged light ray is again a I2. I1 is the first angle of incidence, I2 is the emergent ray angle of incidence, QR. BC is a base. The angle of prism is BAC is equal to A. BAC is equal to A. Thus the prism has produced a deviation by an angle LMQ. LMQ. Sorry, here LMQ is the angle of deviation, which is the angle between the direction of incident ray OP and emergent ray OR. This. It is called the angle of deviation, that is delta. This symbol is known as a delta. From the figure, using this figure, angle LMQ is equal to MPQ. LMQ is equal to MPQ plus of MQP. This angle and this angle is equal to this LMQ angle. Angle of deviation delta is equal to this LMQ is what? Delta. Right, delta is equal to angle of MPQ plus angle of MQP. Okay, MPQ is how much? Delta 1 and MQP is delta 2. Delta 1 plus delta 2, that is equation number 1. Since angle MPN is angle of incidence I1 and MQN is also angle of incidence I2. That is the angle of emergence. Therefore, MPQ is equal to delta 1, that is equal to I1 minus R1, and MQP is equal to delta 2, that is equal to I2 minus R2. From equation number 1, equation number 1 is delta is equal to delta 1 plus delta 2. We got delta 1 and delta 2. That values you just put in this equation. Delta is equal to, delta 1 is what? I1 minus R1, plus of delta 2 is I2 minus R2. So delta is equal to, take the incidence angles one side and refracted angles one side. Delta is equal to I1 plus I2 minus of R1 plus R2. That is equation number 2. Also for the quadrilateral APNQ in figure, quadrilateral APNQ, this APNQ, from this APN is equal to AQN, that is equal to 90 degree. See, APN, right angle triangle, 90 degree, and AQN also 90 degree, right angle. So they both are at 90 degree. Therefore, PNQ plus PAQ is equal to 180 degree. But PAQ is equal to A. The angle of prism PAQ is A. As we took BAC, same. This angle is what? A. So, therefore PNQ is equal to, this we want. PNQ is equal to 180 minus of PAQ is A. Equation number 3. But in triangle PNQ is equal to 180 degree minus of angle of prism A is R1 plus R2. R1 plus R2. From equation number 3 and 4. See, PNQ get cancelled. Similar terms. 180 minus R1 plus R2 is equal to 180 minus A. 180 get cancelled. Remaining minus also get cancelled. R1 plus R2 is equal to A. Equation number 5. From equation number 1 and 5. 1. Delta is equal to delta 1 plus delta 2. And equation number 5 is R1 plus R2 is equal to A. Using these two equations, our delta is equal to I1 plus I2 minus of A. I1 plus I2 minus of A. Or I1 plus I2 is equal to A plus of delta. Angle of deviation. Angle of prism. This is equation number 6. So this is a refraction of light through a glass prism. Next, factors affecting the angle of deviation. It depends upon that angle of deviation. So the angle of incidence and the material of a prism, that is on refractive index mu, and the angle of prism A, and the color or a wavelength lambda of a light used. These factors are affecting on an angle of a deviation. Next, numericals. Numericals on exercise 4C. A ray of light incident at an angle of incidence 48 degree. Angle of incidence at an angle 48 degree on a prism of refracting angle 60 degree suffers minimum deviation. Calculate the angle of minimum deviation. Hint, they have given delta minimum is equal to 2I minus A. Means angle of deviation at minimum condition 2I minus A. Solution. Angle of incidence is how much? I is equal to 48 degree. And prism refracting angle A is equal to 60 degree. Angle of minimum deviation we should calculate. That is delta minimum they given. Right, that is delta minimum is equal to I minus A. I and A we have put that values and find out a angle of deviation. See, 2 into angle of incidence 48 minus A is 60 degree. 2 into 48 minus 60. After calculating, you will get 36. That is the angle of minimum deviation. What should be the angle of incidence for a ray of light which suffers minimum deviation of 36 degree through an equilateral prism? What should be the angle of incidence for a ray of light which suffers minimum deviation of 36 degree through an equilateral prism? Hint, angle A is equal to, means angle of a prism A is equal to 60 degree and angle of incidence I is equal to A plus of delta minimum by 2. Solution. Delta minimum means that is 36 degree minimum deviation. I we should calculate. What should be the angle of incidence for a ray of light? I is equal to question mark and angle of prism angle is A is equal to 60 degree. So using formula, angle of minimum deviation 2i minus A. This 2i you take out. Why? We want this I. That's why 2i is equal to delta m plus of A. Okay. And 2i is equal to delta minimum is 36 degree. A is 60. 36 plus 60 is equal to 96. 2i is equal to 96. Then I is equal to 96 by 2. So I is equal to 48 degree. The angle of incidence for a ray of light is 48 degree. Next, part C, simple application of refraction of light. Simple application of refraction of light. Real and apparent depth. An object placed in a denser medium when viewed from a rarer medium appears to be at a depth lesser than its real depth. This is because of refraction of light. See, for an example, an object placed in a denser medium when viewed from a rarer medium, less denser medium, appears to be at a depth lesser than its real depth. This is because of refraction of light. We'll see with a ray diagram. See, PQ is a surface, air is a rarer medium, and here we took a water or a glass, that is a denser medium. Okay, see, the normal is n dash. The object is O. Okay, when you viewed from this object O of a rarer medium, from the rarer medium, you will get the incident ray, means you should take a OB as an incident ray and OC as a reflected ray. In a figure for an incident ray OB, angle of incidence I is equal to OB n dash. OB n dash and angle of refraction R. Angle CBN. Since AO and BN dash are parallel. AO and BN are parallel and OB is a transversal line. OB is a transversal line. So AOB is equal to OBN dash is equal to I. AOB is equal to OBN dash, means this angle and this angle are same. That is I. Similarly, IA dash and BN are parallel and IC is the transversal line. This IC is a transversal line. So BIA dash is equal to CBN. BIA dash is equal to CBN, means these two angles are same. That is equal to R, angle of refraction. Now in right angle triangle BAO. Right angle triangle BAO. Sin I is equal to BA by OB according to trigonometric formula. Base by adjacent side. BA divided by OB, hypotenuse. Sorry. Sin I is equal to base divided by hypotenuse. For example, for a glass, refractive index air with respect to glass is 3/2. Therefore, the thickness of a glass slab appears only 2/3 of its real thickness when it is viewed from air by keeping the eye vertical above the slab. If you are viewing this point in the C point, from this C point, it will appear in this eye point. Okay. Next, apparent bending of a stick under water. See, take a air and a water medium. Air is a rarer medium, water is the denser medium. If stick is there in the air medium, and we are seeing, see, this OP is a stick, okay, or XOP. When you viewed it from a rarer medium, it will be appear in a P dash point, in this P dash point. So the angle of incidence OP will get a, and the angle of refraction are a PS or PS dash. Okay. Actually, that stick is there at P point. If you viewed from rarer medium to this denser medium, it will appear in this point. That is because of bending of a light, refraction of light. Bending of stick due to refraction. Next example, an object in rarer medium viewed from a denser medium. If you are there in denser medium and that object is there in a rarer medium, how it will look? That incident ray and refracted ray. See, air medium, this is a water medium. We are seeing from denser medium. Means if you are there, imagine if you are there in a water, underwater, and that stick is there here out of the water surface. For example, PAO is our object. If you viewed from this point, C point, so it will be look like a, appears like a at a O point. OB looks like a the real stick, but the apparent depth is a IB. Okay, an object is rarer medium viewed from a denser medium. This is a difference. Next, numericals. Sorry. And in right angle triangle IAB, right angle triangle IAB is equal to, in terms of sin R is equal to BA by IB. For refraction from medium water to glass to air by Snell's law, sin I by sin R is equal to refractive index mu MA, or mu MA is equal to sin I by sin R, that is equal to sin I is BA by OB. In last case we studied, and sin R is BA by IB, that is equal to BA get cancelled, similar terms IB divided by OB. Reverse we should take. Therefore, refractive index of medium with respect to air, mu AM is equal to 1 divided by mu MA, that is equal to, this M means medium, A is a air. With any medium, air, mu MA is what? IB by OB. This is 1 upon mu MA. So this will get a reverse of this, OB by IB. There, since the point B is very close to the point A in this figure, B is very close to A. That is, the object is viewed from a point vertically above the object O. Vertically above the object O. Therefore, IB is equal to IA. If both are close, nearly equal or near, they are very close to each other, then IB is equal to IA and OB is equal to OA. See, if IB is equal to IA, then we'll get OB is equal to OA. Therefore, refractive index of air with respect to medium is equal to OA by IA, and that is equal to OA is the real depth and IA is the apparent depth. This is our equation number 1. Or apparent depth, using this we'll get real depth upon refractive index of air with respect to medium, and medium with respect to air. That is equation number 2. Thus, shift OA is equal to real depth minus apparent depth. Using this equation, OA is equal to real depth minus apparent depth, or shift is equal to real depth into 1 minus 1 upon mu AM. Question number 3. So, the shift by which the object appears to be raised depends on the refractive index of a medium, the thickness of a denser medium, and the wavelength of a incident light. First one is, it depends upon the refractive index of the medium. Second, the thickness of the denser medium. And third one is the color or a wavelength of the incident light. Next, numericals. First one is numericals on exercise 4C. A water pond appears to be 2.7 meter deep if the refractive index of water is 4/3. Find the actual depth of the pond. A water pond appears to be 2.7 meter deep. If the refractive index of water is 4/3, find the actual depth of the pond. Solution: apparent depth is equal to, given quantity is right, apparent depth is equal to 2.7 meter. So we know the formula, refractive index of water is equal, this they gave, refractive index of water also 4/3. In actual depth we want, question mark. So formula right, refractive index is equal to real depth by apparent depth. Refractive index is 4/3. Real depth right as it is. Apparent depth is equal to 2.7 meter. So write this, you take out, real depth is equal to 4/3 into 2.7. So by calculating this, we'll get 3.6 meter is a real depth. Next, a coin is placed at the bottom of a beaker containing water. Refractive index is equal to 4/3 to a depth of 12 centimeter. By what height the coin appears to be raised when seen from vertically above? A coin is placed at the bottom of a beaker containing water. Refractive index is 4/3 to a depth of 12 centimeter. By what height the coin appears to be raised when seen from a vertically above? Okay, refractive index of water is mu is equal to 4/3. Real depth of a coin is, given quantities these are, 12 centimeter. So we want apparent depth. That is question mark. Formula right. Refractive index of water is equal to real depth by apparent depth. Refractive index of water is 4/3. That is equal to real depth is 12 centimeter. Apparent depth right as it is. Then take apparent depth outside. That is equal to 12 into 3/4. So 4 1s are 4 3s are 3 into 3, 9 centimeter is the apparent depth. Therefore, coin appears to be raised by 12 minus of 9 this. 12 is a real depth, minus of apparent depth is 9. So 12 minus 9 is 3. 3 centimeter is a coin appears to be raised. Coin appears to be raised. Third one, a postage stamp kept below a rectangular glass slab of refractive index 1.5 when viewed from vertically above it appears to be raised by 7 mm. Calculate the thickness of a glass slab. A postage stamp kept below a rectangular glass slab of refractive index 1.5 when viewed from a vertically above it appears to be raised by 7 mm. Calculate the thickness of a glass slab. Solution. The refractive index of glass is 1.5. Let the thickness of slab take x millimeter. Stamps raised by 7 millimeter. Okay, 7.0 or 7. Therefore, observed depth is equal to x minus 7 millimeter. Then refractive index is equal to real depth by observed depth or apparent depth. So, refractive index 1.5. Take in terms of fraction 3 by 2. That is equal to real depth is thickness of slab, that is the real depth, x divided by observed depth is x minus 7. So, cross multiplication 3 into x, 3x minus 3 into 7, 21. This is equal to 2 into x, 2x. Or 3x, this minus you take this side, 2x take in this side, 3x minus 2x is 1x, right, x, that is equal to, take this 21 in this side, so minus 21 will get a 21 plus 21 millimeter. So x is equal to 2.1 centimeter. In terms of centimeter is 2.1 and in terms of millimeter 21 millimeter. This much answer is sufficient. So the thickness of a glass slab is 21 millimeter. Next, part D, critical angle and total internal reflection. These two quantities are very important. Critical angle and a total internal reflection. Transmission of light from a denser medium, for example glass or water, to a rarer medium, example air, at different angles of incidence. Transmission of light from a denser medium to a rarer medium at different angles of incidence. First case, when the angle of incidence is small, I is less than C. I is angle of incidence, C is angle of critical angle. When the angle of incidence is small. Air and a glass medium. Air and a glass medium. Air is rarer medium, glass is denser medium. N dash is a normal. Okay, incident ray from denser to rarer. If a ray passing from denser medium to rarer medium, that will refract away from the normal. Okay, this is the law of refraction. So incident ray A O, refracted ray O B, and some amount of that ray will reflect to the same medium, that is O C. This is in case of a ray of light traveling from denser medium to rarer medium. AO is an incident ray, OB is a refracted ray, OC is a reflected ray, and N dash is a normal. So the angle of incidence is AON dash, angle of incidence, and N dash OC also angle of incidence. So here is a C. R is greater than angle of incidence. Why? Because the ray is passing from denser medium to rarer medium. In this case also the angle of incidence is less. I is less than the of critical angle. Next case 2. When the angle of incidence is equal to the critical angle, I is equal to C. C, same condition, rarer medium air and a denser medium is a glass. We are passing a ray of light from denser medium to rarer medium. Take AO is a incident ray. AO. So after reflection, see OB, after refracting, it will be reaches this surface, that separating surface from air to glass. That is, take OB is a refracted ray. When it reaches to this line, no, that is our critical angle. R is equal, that is angle of refracted here. We'll get after that refracting critical angle. R is equal to 90 degree. So the reflected ray is OC. The reflected ray is OC. In this case, C, angle of incidence AO N dash and N dash OC both are same when the angle of incidence is equal to the critical angle. This OB is a critical angle. Okay, when reaches that surface, that is our critical angle. Next, third case is when the angle of incidence is greater than the critical angle. I is greater than C. That reflected ray, see, same condition, air rare medium, glass denser medium. We are passing an incident ray from denser medium. See, if you are passing a incident ray from denser medium to rarer medium, AO incident ray, it will reflect to the same medium. After some time, it will reflect the ray into the same medium, that is reflected ray. Will get a angle of incidence is greater than that critical angle. N dash is a normal, AO is the angle of incidence, OC is the angle of reflected ray. This is a reflected ray. In this condition, angle of incidence is greater than C. Means angle of incidence is greater than critical angle. Now see, what is critical angle? It is the angle of incidence in denser medium corresponding to which the angle of refraction in the rarer medium is 90 degree. It is the angle of incidence in the denser medium corresponding to which the angle of refraction in the rarer medium is 90 degree. Relationship between critical angle and refractive index, mu. Refractive index means symbol mu is equal to 1 by sin C, or mu Ag means refractive index of glass with respect to air is equal to 1 by sin C. That is equal to mathematical formula 1 by sin is equal to cosec C, or sin C is equal to 1 divided by mu Ag. But thus, knowing the refractive index of the denser medium with respect to the rarer medium, we can calculate the critical angle C for that pair of media. If we know the refractive index of a denser medium with respect to air medium, we can calculate this critical angle for that pair of media. For examples, for glass, refractive index is 3 by 2. So the formula sin C is equal to 1 by mu Ag, that is equal to, this is a 3 by 2, reverse of this is 2 by 3. But sin 42 degree is equal to 2 by 3. This is constant value. Sin 42 is equal to 2 by 3. So C is equal to what? 42 degree. Next example, for water, refractive index mu AW is equal to 4 by 3. Then sin C is equal to formula 1 by mu AW. In that example, we took Ag. So here the mediums are water and air. So we should take mu WA. That is equal to 4 by 3 this. So reverse of that is 3 by 4. But sin 42 degree is equal to 3 by 4. This is constant. We know the formula value of the sin 49 is 3 by 4. So C value is what? 49 degree. The critical angle of this pair of a media is a 49 degree. Next, factors affecting the angle. Which angle? Critical angle. The factors affecting the critical angle. First one, dependence on the color of light or a wavelength of a light. The refractive index of a transparent medium decreases with the increase of wavelength of light. The refractive index of a transparent medium decreases with the increase of wavelength of a light. that is most for a violet light and least for a red light. Keep it in mind. The dependence on the color of a light or a wavelength of a light, the refractive index of a transparent medium decreases with the increase of a wavelength of light, that is most for the violet light and least for the red light. Therefore, critical angle for a pair of media is least for violet and most for a red light. That is, the critical angle increases with the increase in wavelength of light. If the critical angle increases, automatically wavelength of light also increases. Next, dependence on temperature. On increasing the temperature of medium, its refractive index decreases. So the critical angle for that pair of media increases, reverse. Thus, critical angle increases with the increase in temperature. Depend on temperature or critical angle is on increasing the temperature of a medium, its refractive index decreases. So the critical angle for that pair of media increases. Thus, critical angle increases with the increase in temperature. Next, total internal reflection, TIR. TIR. Total internal reflection. When a ray of light traveling in a denser medium is incident at the surface of a rarer medium at the angle of incidence greater than the critical angle for the pair of media, the ray is totally reflected back into the denser medium. This phenomenon is known as TIR or total internal reflection. When a ray of light traveling in a denser medium is incident at the surface of a rarer medium at the angle of incidence greater than the critical angle for a pair of media, the ray is totally reflected back into the same medium is known as a TIR. See in this diagram, this air is a rarer medium, glass is a denser medium, N dash is a normal, incident ray is AO, so totally reflected to that same medium, means in that denser medium only, that is OC. So this is a total internal reflection. Next, essential conditions for the total internal reflection. Here we needed two essential conditions for that total internal reflection. First one is the light must travel from a denser to a rarer medium, then only we will get the total internal reflection. The light must travel from a denser medium to rarer medium. Second one, the angle of incidence must be greater than the critical angle for the pair of a media. The angle of incidence must be greater than the critical angle for that pair of media. Next, distinguish between the total internal reflection and reflection from a plane mirror. TIR and reflection for a plane mirror. First point is in TIR, it takes place only when light passes from a denser medium to a rarer medium at an angle of incidence greater than the critical angle for that pair of media. In the reflection for a plane mirror is, it takes place when light is incident on a plane mirror from any medium at any angle of incidence. Second, the entire light is reflected. In this TIR, the entire light is reflected. In this reflection for a plane of mirror is, only a part of light is reflected while rest in refracted and observed. A part, partial. Third one is, there is no loss of energy. In the TIR, there is no loss of energy. The energy of a reflected ray is same as that of incident ray. Both are same in the TIR. But in reflection from a plane mirror is, there is a loss of energy. The energy of the reflected ray is always less than that of the incident ray. There is a loss of energy. The energy of the reflected ray is always less than that of an incident ray. And in TIR, the image is much brighter and the brightness remains unchanged even after a long use of the total reflecting device. But in the reflection from a plane mirror, the image is less bright and the brightness gradually decreases as the silvering or a mirror becomes old or rough. It will become less bright as the mirror becomes old or rough. The last point, some consequences of a total internal reflection. There are 5 points. Some consequences of a total internal reflection. In our day-to-day life, we will observe this total internal reflection. First point, on a hot sunny day, a driver may see a pool of water or wet road in front of him at same distance. It is the phenomenon of mirage, which is often observed in desert. Second one is, a crack in a glass vessel often shines like a mirror. This is because of TIR. Next, a piece of diamond sparkles when viewed from certain directions. This is also because of TIR. An optical fiber is used to transmit a light signal over a long distance without any loss of energy because of TIR, by using that TIR. Next, an empty test tube placed in a water in a beaker with mouth outside the water surface shines like a mirror when seen at a certain angles. This is from this TIR.